the Future Soviet Warfare Theories, or Revolution in Military Affairs, which also covers a wide spectrum of warfare, including information warfare. According to the well-respected PI who exposed the PROMIS software scandal, Carol Marshall, aka Sherry Seymour, claims that the work of Major General Paul Vallely and Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino in the early 1980s spawned the entire revolution in military affairs within the United States, and its asymmetric approach to warfare, viewing new media as potential mind war operatives. In a follow-up U.S. Air Force Academy study via Air Force Space Command, we learn why warfare must become, quote, multi-dimensional. The spectrum of conflict, as portrayed in most readings, is single-dimensioned, linear, and continuous. It must be replaced by a multi-dimensional model, perhaps even nonlinear and discontinuous. Topological mathematicians would call it a manifold, hence the name conflict manifold. Its primary characteristic is multidimensionality. This is synonymous with the idea of nonlinear warfare coming out of Russia. Aquino was deeply involved in what has been called the Revolution in Military Affairs, RMA, the Future Soviet Warfare Theories. The introduction of the most kooky, quote, third-wave New Age ideas into military long-range planning, which introduced such notions as information warfare and cyber warfare into the Pentagon's lexicon. In the early 1980s, at the same time Heidi and Alvin Toffler were spinning their Tavistock third-wave utopian claptrap to some top Air Force brass, Aquino and another U.S. Army colonel at the time, Paul Vallely, were co-authoring an article for Military Review. Mind War was one of the papers created in the early 80s by Michael Aquino and Paul Vallely that spawned the application of future Soviet warfare theories into the Pentagon.
What 3 previous presidents could not do. The saber rattling that they all denounced is what gets them to the table, and he's on the cusp of a historic peace deal, and they can't stand it because it's Donald Trump. Just
take as an example what we're doing right now with nuclear weapons. There's a big industry to build nuclear weapons, but not to use them because they're too dangerous and they're too deadly. So the profits are being made, the bombs are stacking up, the missiles are sitting there in the silos, but nobody is being killed by these things. Now, that isn't a very good state of affairs, but it's better than people actually being killed by these. What I'm suggesting is that the levels of conventional weaponry, including things like drones and so on, have reached a similar danger point, and that therefore, if the industry wishes to keep on building these things, go ahead, build them, put them in parades, put them on show, use them to rattle sabers with, but do not use them to kill other people with. You don't need to do that to solve these problems internationally. Mind War will do that for you. Just keep these things around like you do the guided missiles for show until you've matured enough so that you don't feel you have to build them anymore. And instead of building those, you can go out and build some solar panels or windmills.
To say that it's still going on. A copy of it went to Donald Trump.
Nice.
It's also known to some of his other senior advisors who've had contact in this field before. General Flynn, when he was director of DIA, has certainly encountered this stuff, and he's aware of it too. Now, exactly
what about the other
how...
dog? Mad Dog?
Oh, Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because it certainly has gotten all the way up into the top levels of the Army and the Pentagon. I haven't really paid that much attention to the Marine Corps. To do it pretty much with nuclear weapons, because we build a lot of nuclear weapons and we spend money on them, but we don't use them. We're at least smart enough to have not done that yet. So all we have to do is some of these other weapons, we have to start treating them in the same way. If you want to build them and sell them and put them in parades and have and show them off, go ahead, just don't.
But they're saying you can't even have it. You can't even respect anybody that's doing that. We need the other side of that. After 18 years, since 1991, we've not had a military parade in this country. And Trump says the Russians have them, the French have them, the British have them.
And it didn't make any difference, which one of them got elected. They were both going to be good dogs. But it was
There goes Infowars. There goes the audience. There goes Matt Drudge. Look at Toto right there. Not big, not the biggest thing around, not trying to be cool, just dogged. And look what the dog does. I think Infowars symbol should be a dog. I've been thinking about what our symbol ought to be. I think it's a sheepdog. It's a dog. What do you think? Oh, what's the famous dogs that'll kill themselves going out in the snow for days? St. Bernard. St. Bernard. And I don't mean that as an insult, to be connected to a dog. They say someone's dogged, dog-like. It's one of the highest compliments there is. And
good dogs.
And I'm like Colonel Travis. I have been commanded by my own will, by my conscience, by God, and by the president. I'm going to go on to the end, Alex. We're bringing the spirit of America back. I'm getting persecuted, so are you. But I want you to keep it up and not back down and press the attack. And that's my real life.